Hey everyone, today we'll talk about Antardashas. From the last video, you know that a Mahadasha is a period when a planet rules a human's life. In case you haven't watched it, the link to the video is on screen. A Mahadasha is also called a Dasha for short. In my videos, I might sometime use the term Dasha to refer to a Mahadasha. Rest assured, both are the same. The planet that rules a Mahadasha is called the Dasha Lord. So for example, if a person is running Jupiter Dasha, the Dasha Lord during that period is Jupiter. To understand Antardashas, let's go back to the sun's palace. The sun was worried. Would the human be able to handle 19 years of Saturn's influence on his life? Difficult times make a person look for strength within himself or herself, which makes them connect with their higher selves. However, Saturn being who he is will make life so difficult for the person that he or she may become very unhappy and break. On the other hand, a good guy like Jupiter will give a very comfortable life for 16 years. Being too comfortable will make a human weak and forget his higher purpose in life. No. This is not the purpose of Mahadashas. Life is all about balance. We should help the human grow by making him face difficulties in life, but we should also give him some respite to regain strength. So we need to do something to maintain balance. He sent for Jupiter. Jupiter said, "What's worrying you, Your Majesty?" Sun explained his worry. Jupiter agreed. Life is about balance. It should not be too comfortable or too difficult for extended periods of time. The Sun said, "Then what should we do?" Jupiter thought for a while. Then he said, "The best way to address this would be to allow other planets to have some influence during every Mahadasha. We can split a Mahadasha into 9 subperiods, and each subperiod can be ruled by one of the 9 planets." The Sun said, "How will that help?" Jupiter said, "Let me explain. You don't like chocolate cake, do you?" The Sun said, "Ew, I hate it. I only like vanilla cakes with a thick layer of creamy frosting. Jupiter said, "Now, if you had a thick layer of buttercream icing on your chocolate cake, would you be able to tolerate it?" The Sun said, Yeah, the good frosting will help mask the terrible taste of chocolate cake and I'll be able to eat it. But I don't understand how this is relevant to our Mahadasha conversation." Jupiter said, "It is, Your Majesty. A Mahadasha is like a cake. A subperiod will be like a thick layer of frosting on the slice of the cake. Each slice will have a different kind of frosting since each planet ruling the subperiod will have a different influence on a person's life." That sounds good. This will help keep balance. What should we call these subperiods and how will it work? Jupiter thought for a while again. Then he said, "Your Majesty, we can call these subperiods Antardashas or Bhuktis, whichever you like. For the sequence, we can follow the same pattern as we do for the Mahadashas. The Dasha Lord will get the first Antardasha, followed by the Antardasha of the planet next in sequence. For example, in my case, for my Mahadasha, I will get the first Antardasha, Saturn will get the second Antardasha, Mercury the third, Ketu the fourth, and so on. In your case, during your Mahadasha, you will get the first Antardasha, Moon will get the second, Mars will get the third, etc. Does that sound good? The Sun said, "I love it. You didn't answer one thing though. How long will each Antardasha last?" Jupiter said, "We can keep it simple. The spread will be just like in a Mahadasha. For example, your Mahadasha runs for 6 years out of 120 years in a human's life, which is 1/20th of the total duration. So your Antardasha for any Mahadasha will be 1/20th of the duration for that Mahadasha." The Sun said, That sounds okay, but it's a little complicated. In my case, my Mahadasha is 6 years, so when you divide 120 by 6, you get a nice round number 20. And you can calculate using 1/20th, which makes calculations easy. But in your case, when we divide 120 by 16, it is not a whole number. Saturn's Mahadasha is 19 years, which is not even an even number. So, and dividing 120 by 19, that is not easy math. I want to be able to calculate the Antardashas quickly and easily. How can I do that? Jupiter said, actually, there is a very simple way, Your Majesty. Multiply the number of years of the Mahadasha and the Antardasha lords. Divide by 10. That will give you the number of months of each Antardasha. For example, in my case, my Antardasha in my Mahadasha would be 16 times 16 divided by 10, which is 25.6 months. My Antardasha in your Mahadasha would be 16 times 6 divided by 10, which is 9.6 months. The sun said, wow, that sounds easy. Let me try it for me. My Mahadasha is 6 years, so my Antardasha is 6 times 6 divided by 10, which is 3.6 months. And my Antardasha in your Mahadasha is 6 times 16 divided by 10, which is 9.6 months. Oh, that's the same as what you calculated before. This is actually really easy. Okay, I will make this a law and everyone has to follow this. So there you have it. An Antardasha or a Bhukti is a sub-period of a Mahadasha. The first Antardasha in a Mahadasha is that of the Dasha Lord himself. The rest of the sequence is the same as the sequence of the Mahadashas. The duration of an Antardasha is a fraction of the period the Dasha Lord gets. Let's work through an example for Venus Mahadasha and the various Antardashas. The duration of Venus Mahadasha is 20 years. So, the Venus Antardasha is 40 months, Sun Antardasha is 12 months, Moon Antardasha is 20 months, Mars Antardasha is 14 months, Rahu Antardasha is 36 months, Jupiter Antardasha is 32 months, Saturn Antardasha is 38 months, Mercury Antardasha is 34 months, and Ketu Antardasha is 14 months. If you add up the number of months, the total comes to 240 months, which is 20 years. And that is the duration of the Venus Mahadasha. That's it for today, guys. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.